What up, peeps? Can you imagine if that was my intro to the show? Yeah, I think I would start hemorrhaging subscribers like a nicked artery or something along those lines. Yeah, I don't have an insufferable way to start these episodes, but I understand why people say, "What's up, guys?" at the beginning of all their videos, because that's just what you feel like saying into this void of people. So, anyways, we are getting back to the task at hand. This is the last of my short films that I am going to review, and subsequently, it's the first short film I ever made. It's called Culpability. First sign that it's somebody's first short film is it has a one-word name that is supposed to be mystifying. Culpability, because they're culpable of their actions. Yeah, so again, I'm going to go through this and see if we can learn something from it. And yeah, with that said, we're not going to watch everything. I'm only going to skip to the beats because this one's a lot longer than the other two shorts. I'm going to skip to the beats where we can learn something. If you do want to watch the full film, because a lot of people apparently didn't, if you look at the view count, links in the description. With that said, let's roll that bumper. All right, here we go. First thing I noticed is there's no lunascope imager because it didn't exist when this movie came out. Another thing you'll notice is there's actually titles at the beginning. That wasn't because I'm a noob and I chose, and now I don't like to have titles at the beginning. It just depends on the feel of the film itself. In this film, this was the best way I saw to start it, this way with intercutting titles and speaking.
I'm Derek, and I'm a heroin addict.
Hey, Derek.
So this was filmed with the Panasonic G7, the Vario 12 to 35 micro four thirds lens, and the 35 to 100 Panasonic lens. Yeah, so not a lot of depth of field. There was no speed booster on this one. So I really tried to soften everything up in post. You'll see that on their faces. They're a lot softer, and yeah, we'll go from there. Another fun fact is that, again, is my stepdad shaking the actor, Austin Lutz. This was his first time acting as well. Shaking hands, and yeah, we'll go from there. These are my friends Danielle and Justin Paul. Very grateful they were able to come out.
Seems like it's been a year. This room. And my family.
There's my mom and my stepdad side by side.
Family, of course. Can't wait to get my girl a chip.
Where is Emily?
She decided to stay home and clean
Actually
house
gave my
today.
stepdad some lines in this one. This is the lead, Deidre Kalin, a very talented actress in the Portland area. Oh, that's another thing I should mention. If films about addiction trigger you in any way, this probably isn't the film for you to watch because it's ripe with that drug use and bad things that come from it.
That's why she should be.
Hey, there's my friend Nate, who the one I'm always talking about in my crew. His first acting gig as well. He didn't want to do it, but for me, he did. That's Nate. And my landlord, Joni, there, the best landlord in the world, on the left.
You said 10 minutes, 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, he was the assistant director on this one as well. So, one thing I'll say is with those establishing shots, like at the beginning right there, if there's nothing moving, it just looks like a picture. So try to have, if there's no wind or anything in the establishing shot, try to have some camera movement so it's not just like a static picture. This is Claire Elizabeth Grace on the left, a very talented person in the Portland area. I believe she's a singer now. She's very talented. And my buddy Andeshay Taj, who is a very talented actor in the Portland area and acts on every production that comes through town he's a part of.
Fucking Emily again.
Jesus, we're coming.
Hey, girl.
Hey, what's going on, you guys?
We're like 5 minutes out.
I was using a homemade, a DIY camera rig that Tom Antos actually had the blueprints for how to make it. Worked great. I still use it all the time. It's made out of wood, but he made it in a way that it doesn't scratch your car, doesn't hurt anything. The ADR worked real well because they're real close to the camera, and so yeah, that's how I got these shots. And the internal stabilization of the camera and the lens worked very well together, and I think these driving shots came out real well.
I know, but we've been crazy busy all day. All right, we will, I promise.
Emily, fucking chill. We got a lot of people to get to. You're next on the list. You need to be fucking patient.
Did you get that?
So I broke it down, and I drove around and got car noises, for Foley, and yeah, and then ADR'd them separately because the on-set audio was absolutely unusable because their windows were down.
Yeah, I got it. God. I'll see you when you guys get here.
If you'll notice, sorry, I won't stop it every 5 seconds. It's just the beginning. You notice a lot of new things. The music doesn't have that same tie-in like the other two do because there was no composer on this. I got all the music myself, and most of it was used with an app called Filmstro, where you can vary the peaks of like depth and power and tempo. So you can kind of blend it into your movie a lot better. It worked really well, but it's not as good as having Miles Ito. Good old time lapse. Yeah, I actually had a pickup shot this time. So obviously you can't use people's phone numbers in movies. So every number, every house number on everything was all done by me in After Effects. So that way, yeah, we didn't have to have any problems with people calling because all my fans want to call these numbers. If you notice there, she actually was able to throw that lollipop into the basket back there for 2 points. I'll rewind it so you can see it. Watch where the lollipop goes. It's like Dude Perfect of filmmaking. 2 points.
Babe, we gotta go.
Alright. Be safe, Emma.
I didn't get a good shot of Anishay's coverage. I should have crept in a little more over Deidre's shoulder so that way it wasn't cutting his face off with the car there. But because the cars are so tight, a lot of things look good in them. I love shooting in cars because everything looks cinematic. Now this scene I wanted to be long and uncomfortable because these things are long and uncomfortable, but it's a bit too long and just kind of drags out. You'll see what I'm talking about here. It hits the mark with uncomfortability, and I'd like to say it's pretty accurate with how it looks when somebody is mainlining heroin, but yeah. Let's take a look. And the actress did a very good job. She's never used IV drugs in her entire life, but she was able to pull it off and make it look convincing. And no, we didn't have drugs on set. These were all fake, and I found ways to make it, to work around and make it look real. On that shot, it would have been better if I focused on the needle itself instead of her face as she licked the needle, but you live and learn. In this part, I just used a piece of her skin and cloned it over there where the needle is. And right in that spot, there's a person holding a little cap of fake blood, so that way it shoots back into the needle like this. And then I just had her shoot it back out into a cup doing the same trick. And the funny thing is that big, that gram of heroin there is actually a plum. A plum that I kind of split up and made all sticky, and gotta watch out for those plums. I think that zoom and dissolve kind of looked hokey. Again, I think I didn't have motion blur turned on. Yeah, live and learn. And now she's in a euphoric state. That's what this is supposed to represent, obviously. This camera really shines in the bright sunlight. That's why this looks so much nicer. And the color grade, I wanted it to look a lot nicer because she's feeling that euphoric feeling and everything else is dingy when she's in her drug world. This is my attempt at a day to night time lapse. Showing the passage of time, obviously. So all these living room scenes here, believe it or not, there is actually lighting going on here. There's some Lowell like 1K and 500 watt lights going on. But at the time, I didn't know how to light anything. So I lit everything like a normal house would be anyway. So there was no purpose of me using the lights. I basically just bounced one off the ceiling and put it wherever the lights were. And so everything was really flat. In this kind of a dramatic scene, I should have made it much more dramatic instead of this flat, unappealing, budget-looking lighting that I went with on this one, but that's how you learn, I guess, right?
Babe, you here? Honey? Baby? Baby.
Not a very happy film, that's for sure. I think on these flashback scenes, I should have made this part go a little quicker, and I used a few too many of them because they just kind of go rapid fire there. But Deidre's doing a great job showing her grief. Seeing how her decisions impacted the love of her life's death, basically. What's the first thing she does?
Yeah. I need 2 black.
Calls for more drugs. Another thing we couldn't really fake. I could have done it in After Effects, but it would have taken forever. Because she's got bright blue eyes, her pupils are very, very dilated, where if she was using opiates, they would be pinpoints. And so, yeah. If I was being paid to do it, I would probably go back in After Effects and redo this. And then I should have cut. This is, going back to the well, trying to get those emotions. But we've already done it. Deidre does a great job. But it was unnecessary. At the time, I thought I needed to make it look like more time had passed because we're waiting on the drug dealers to come back. But it wasn't necessary. It's a movie. But I do like that sound when it fades out, the boom. And that was a pickup shot we did because I forgot to get, and that's why it's all blurry and everything, because it was just late at night. And yeah, I forgot to get a drive-up shot. That's why when he's pulling up, you never see Claire because Claire wasn't there.
She says she wants you to come inside.
I do like how this shot looks. These shots in the car at nighttime here. I basically just had a 1K tungsten bouncing down on them with a little bit of CTB gel on it.
Isn't Derek in there?
She says it's okay.
Fine. We gotta hurry, though.
And then a little dash light coming up underneath. It wasn't an aperture because I don't think there was an aperture M9 was even around at this time. So I forget. It was just one of those little, like a Duracell little light.
Okay, we'll be right in. What? Why? Okay, we just have to hurry.
I ain't got no time for these junky bitches.
See, this looks like a lot more dramatic. This is how the whole movie should have looked.
They give me their money. That's it. You're my queen.
I was learning that you don't have to see everything. The contrast is what makes the image appealing instead of having to see their full faces and everything. These are things you learn when you make your first short film. Even though nobody's first short film is ever good, at the time I was like, oh, I'm going to be the one. I'll be the one. But you learn a ton from it. Just go out there and create. See how you go from that dramatic look into this flatness where it's like big thing. Oh, we do have, just so you know, the lighting. There's a 1K tungsten coming in through the window there with a bunch of blue gels on it. Probably too many, if you ask me.
Okay, what you need?
Just go look in the bathroom.
I ain't got time for this shit. You got my girl tripping and now you wanna—
look in the fucking bathroom!
Fuck, okay, I'll go look in your fucking bathroom.
That conversation escalated quickly, you know. That's a little errand dialogue on my part.
Bitches.
All these posters, these recovery posters I picked up just for this movie.
What the fuck? Oh, dude.
What did you...
So, the framing's wrong on this one, on this scene, because of where they're in this small hallway, but I still should have put her on the left side of the frame so she's looking into more of the frame so it doesn't look so cramped over there, and him to be on the right side looking vice versa. But instead, they're both cramped into this little area, and there's a bunch of dead space on the other side. Again, not something I learned because I did the same mistake in the audition, but, you know, I've learned it now.
You do.
What?
When did you give it to him?
Have you lost your fucking mind? I haven't seen him since he quit. He probably fucking took yours.
Change the tint on the color grade to show the flashback.
Are you fucking kidding me?
What?
You're fucking hot.
Maybe should have put a little blur around the edges. A vignette.
Oh, fuck you.
Oh shit. It's hard for an addict when they got it in their hand. What's he gonna choose? Okay, it's kind of ridiculous, but at the time I was like, this is gonna be so intense. Throws the coin in there and we're back to the present.
Shit.
And we have the same gun from all three movies again, for that same reason with the CO2. It has the little the CO2 kick, so it makes it easy for me. Another thing, I happen to pause on this real quick. There's a lot of all that purple and stuff is all color grade.
Far too fast, that's it.
In his face.
Now listen to me. Put down the gun, and we'll figure this out. We need to
But this scene goes on a little too long.
You're fucked.
But I really like how he says that part. Another
Won't touch him.
zoom in that doesn't look right because of motion blur.
You walk around on your high fucking horse, judging the rest of us. We just have the decency to keep our
Little
addictions
ADR
to
problems
ourselves
there.
and not push them on the rest of us, because that's all of us who manage. Not
Yeah, a
to
little
have
monologue-y.
Treat us like shit when we do.
I don't,
Like you're somehow
again, this
better than the
movie,
rest of us.
well, I'll talk about it at the end.
Well,
Guess what? I love that part though.
what I want now is my boy. You no longer have what I want, and are now fucking useless to me.
Ooh, muzzle flash was obviously VFX, but practical gunshot in the back of the head. I've always been good at getting people shot in the head for whatever reason. One day I'll make a video and show you how I do that, because it always comes out looking pretty good. Everything goes to black and white except for the blood and that Banksy poster with the little kid with the little heart balloon. I was trying to be artsy, I guess. A little clunky on the transition to the rest of the movie, though. Okay, in this part, God, this is a mess. This is a different day than when we blew out the back. So this is all VFX right here. I had X's all over the walls, but in retrospect, it wasn't a good idea because I had more time. I had a tougher time removing those X's in post than I did lining everything up correctly. The reason we didn't leave the blood there is because it would have stained the walls, and this was a completely different day when we were doing this shoot. And we were able to get all the blood off of the walls because this was in a rental place. And I didn't want to keep testing fate by keep spraying the walls and whatnot. So you might see a little artifact. Let's see what we see here. If I remember correctly, that poster's VFX too. Yeah, you see that little movement there. You can see a little bit of artifacting up in there from the X's and whatnot. Yeah, that poster's VFX as well. A little bit bad on the transition. This was my first one shot. If you notice, we haven't cut since she came out of that bathroom. I made them do this 42 times twice, so 80 times. Because the first time, I wasn't happy with the footage. I really like how this looks when she comes out right here. Right when the light hits her, right there. That looks great to me. Perfect. She looked at just the right time, always looking to the light.
You might want to get the fuck out of here.
What the fuck did you do, Emily?
Again, lighting this, we have a 1K out in the street with a lot of CTB, obviously. And then there's another tungsten light right next to the house, right there that she's kind of in. So the reason you keep seeing the camera move around is because we had to go where shadows weren't, because a lot of times you'd see my shadow and it would mess everything up. I wanted hard light for whatever reason, I don't remember why.
Jordan?
Same thing would happen here.
Jordan?
So we came in like that because you could see my shadow on the wall, but
Jordan?
we pulled it off.
Jordan! No!
Again, that was VFX on the wall.
No!
That's real on the floor, though, that blood. No. If you notice, there's a little seam right there. I had an extra piece of the same kind of carpet that I was able to put down and put some fake blood on. Claire did a great job on this scene, though. I should have made that a little bit bigger. That poster says life is beautiful. I wanted her to be like, what? You know, bad timing. But I graded it a bit dark. Yeah, we're still in the one shot, by the way. I do like how it turned out. The lighting here, you can see there's a light on the street there without a light. I just masked it out in post. So where the light was with the big umbrella, I just clone stamped it out. Basically, I have a video where I use a clone stamp tool. I'll leave a link to that too. It's taking the cup out of the Game of Thrones scene that back when they left that cup in. But yeah, so I did the same thing here, only I just took the light stand out, so there was just light shining down. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was my first short film. You know, I still love it. I know it's completely flawed. It would be a lot better at 10 minutes, but I have a lot of good memories from that. That was Yeah, it went on way too long. I think we were supposed to shoot for 3 days, and I think it went over like a 4-week period, like sporadically shooting on random days. Safe to say that I was trying to brute force my way through it, and yeah, the actors, I'm sorry it took so long, and you were very, very patient with me. We'll see, there wasn't even a crew, so we'll see that here in post here. Written, directed, and produced by this guy. Deidre obviously did a great job. She was the lead there. Yeah, she's a great actress. You can see her in a lot of things. Look her up on IMDb. Same thing with Anashay Taj. Anashay was he was the guy on top of the truck with the assault rifle in Small Gains. And I'm looking forward to working with them again. Claire Elizabeth Grace, she's a local singer, she's an actress, she does it all, she's very talented. She's up here in Portland, but I think she goes down to LA all the time too. Austin Lute is, let's see if I can get the glitch out. Austin Lute is an Alaskan fisherman, one of those guys you see on the big fishing boats up there in like Deadliest Catch. But he came down and helped us out and tried to act, and I think did a good job for not being an actor. He pulled it off. So, yeah, and then we have the extras, the NA group, which is my landlord, my best friend Nate, my mom, my stepdad, and my friends Justin and Danielle, who just had a newborn baby named Darren after Justin's dad, which is really, really cool. Nate was my assistant director. He did a great job. Lauren was on this as well. He was the on-set audio tech, doing the boom, capturing the audio. And again, Lauren does a whole host of things on set that you just can't quantify. Again, post-production was me. Nate did the slate. Lauren did the boom. Special thanks to my daughter. Pretty small crew on this one. How long does this music go on for? Oh God, it's just like 2 minutes. Okay, safe to say I didn't know how to turn the music off in Premiere at the right time. So yeah, that was it. Lot less painful than I thought it was going to be. We all have our first films. If you're bold enough to make them, we all see the flaws in them, but we learn from them. Failure is a pathway to success. If you don't fail, if you don't attempt to do something, you're never going to succeed, because nobody just gets the very first time, gets everything perfect on anything in life, unless they are some sort of idiot savant. But I guess not an idiot savant, just a savant. I should probably think more before I speak. Anyways, that's the last of these short films I'm going to do, because I think you guys are getting tired of them. And it's the last short film that I have to show you guys. I just wanted this all to be caught up. I wanted you guys to see the library of the things that I did that I own the content to. If you look on IMDb, there's other things that I've done that I don't have the rights to. That's why they're not on this channel. But and commercials and things like that. But yeah, this is the stuff I have the rights to, and we're all on the same page now. I got some good stuff coming up while we're still here in quarantine. I have time on my hands, so yeah. Check back in the channels. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like any of my videos, hit that like button 3 times. Why not? If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. I think we're up to 1,400 subscribers. That blows my mind. I cannot believe it. Good thing I'm not starting my videos off with "What's up, peeps," or else people would start unsubscribing in droves. And yeah, now I'm rambling. So again, it's not a competition. Let's all rise in this business together. I'll see you guys soon.